Gopala Astrology channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates. Welcome to Gopala Astrology channel. Today we are going to start a new series of planets through houses. Okay, I'm going to start with ascendant lord in different signs, and we're going to make it each one of them. So the first lord in the second house, first lord in the third house, so on and so forth. So we are going to give some examples and make you learn, because many of the clients have started writing to me that please teach us the basics in the way that you have been putting up a lot of graphics and all that, because there are a lot of videos in the YouTube, but the basics ought to be taught to all of you guys in a very visual graphical way. As I promised to you guys before, I'm going to do this series. Please stick out to all these videos. In future you are going to be learning astrology very systematically. All right, so let's start this video with ascendant lord in the ascendant itself. Okay, and please remember that this is the sidereal Indian astrology. We always consider this as a geocentric system. We are going to observe the night sky through the planet Earth, and we put planet Earth in the center and rest of these celestial bodies around us. And that's how the Parashara system of Vedic astrology was started in India. All right, friends, let's begin this video with a little bit introduction about the Lagna or the ascendant, and also what is D1 chart. D1 chart is the basic natal chart which has the Lagna, the sun sign, the moon sign, everything plotted in a very clear manner. Okay, if you are not very familiar with what is D1 chart, please download Jagannath Hora. I'm going to give the link of that software. It's a free software. You can download it, and you can always use this for explanation. All right, so it is very, very easy to download Jagannath Hora and prepare your own D1 chart. All right, so let's try to understand what is ascendant or Lagna. I have made a detailed video separately about ascendant sign, ascendant itself. Let's just try to understand in a very brief manner. Ascendant is nothing but the zodiac sign that is rising in the eastern horizon at any given point of time, okay, at any given location of the planet Earth. To understand this more graphically, let's say the Earth is spinning east to west, and around us we have the chakra or the zodiac sign belt. At any given point of time, let us say a baby is born in a central part of Africa or somewhere. You can stop Earth at that point of time and you draw a tangent to the eastern horizon. Okay, wherever this red line or the tangent line goes and hits the zodiacal belt, that particular sign becomes your ascendant sign. Okay, it's very, very clear that it is east direction. Why? Because the Earth is spinning east to west with a tilt of 23.5 degrees to the northeast direction. Okay, so let us put one more example to clearly understand the importance of Lagna and the position and time of birth. Okay, for example, let us take the top view of United States. So this is the eastern coast of US. Let us say the baby is born at 10 a.m. in New York, Manhattan. Okay, at that point of time, when you draw a tangent to the eastern horizon, let us say it is Capricorn zodiac sign that is rising in the eastern direction. So it becomes a Makara Lagna horoscope or the Capricorn ascendant horoscope. Imagine at the same time on the west coast of United States, say for example Seattle, another baby is born exactly the same time, but location is different. From Seattle, when you draw a tangent to the eastern horizon, it becomes Libra ascendant. So it is very, very clear that the position on the planet Earth is extremely important. That means the latitude and longitude is very important. From that point where the latitude longitude coincides, you draw a tangent to the eastern horizon. Wherever it goes and cuts the zodiacal belt, that particular zodiac sign becomes your ascendant. So ascendant is extremely important. What does the ascendant or first house astrology signifies. If you take the Kala Purusha Kundali, imagine the human body form that I had explained in the previous video. The Lagna or the ascendant represents the head, the head or the first part of the body. All right, so this is given maximum importance, and it also represents the skull and the brain of the person. Okay, so for the general Kala Purusha Kundali, we consider Mesha Rashi or the Aries zodiac sign as the first zodiac sign. It starts from it's a reference point from which all other zodiac signs are being given the positions. All right. So now all the events that happens in your life is expressed and experienced through ascendant sign. Okay, so even the Parashara says the Satya Jatakam. So that means if a person is having the ascendant lord in the ascendant sign itself, it is a Shubha Yoga. It's a very, very, very good yoga. The person becomes bold and competitive, and he is a very confident personality, depending on what type of planet owns the first house. Okay, so they are very healthy generally, and they're very strongly well built. It's a Sanketa Nidhi, it is called. The body itself is called the Sanketa Nidhi, and the people will not have fear, and they will be very broad-minded personality. They love their motherland very much and try to settle down in the motherland for long term. Okay, and that's one of the best yogas to have, the first lord in the first house. So in order to understand different planets behaving different in a different way in each of zodiac signs, I've taken each of them starting from Aries up to Taurus, up to the Pisces. We are going to go one by one and try to interpret it graphically. All right, so let's take for example Mars is a very, very dynamic planet, and let's take the example of Aries. So it starts with Aries, Mars found in Aries. When this type of combination happens, persons, they are going to be very, very competitive. Okay, they like to fight, they like to win the battles. Okay, they are the soldiers, they are the great athletes, and they are quite short tempered, and they do not have patience at all, and they are very dominating character. They want to take the leadership role automatically, and sometimes because of this they may have some bodily injuries and cuts and burns because they are the sportsmen. So you can always see the sports people playing basketball, cricket, football. They will cut their finger here, there, and all that. They will put a plaster on their own and still keep running. And so they are very, very dynamic personalities. In other words, the leaders of the CEOs of private organizations, multinational organizations can be seen when Mars is in the first house of Aries. The reason is because these people are very likely to take up the leadership by their birth characteristics. Okay, or if they are in a primary school, a young boy, he likes to be the leader of the team, and he likes to control the people, control his team. As he grows up further and further, he goes into the different levels, and at the end of the day, after he completes his graduation, gets into a job, he likes to become the CEO of an organization. Okay, so they know they are the goal getters. They know how to push the things across and get the things done for their team, and they are known as the goal getters. All right, so they always have very short-tempered mentality internally, and they do not wait. They make things happen, and they do not wait for things to happen in life. All right, so let's go to the next one. Imagine this is the Venus, that is the ruler of the first house in Taurus, or the Vrishabha Rashi. So now the equation changes completely. Venus is a completely different planet in Taurus. They are very much about delicate things in life. They like beauty, they like security, they are more into financial controlling jobs. They always like to make up themselves. They want to look beautiful. At the end of the day, they may have also some kind of kidney problems and diabetes problems. The reason is because, according to classical astrology, the Venus is also going to rule the sixth house of Libra. In fact, Libra is more prominently ruled by Venus or Shukra compared to that of Taurus. Okay, so the sixth house effect comes into picture, and sixth lord comes into the first house, also gives a lot of day-to-day routine things for these people. So in other words, Venus is a planet of beauty. When it is coming in the first house, definitely the people are very artistic in their looks. They make up very well. They always like to put some perfumes. They have a lavish lifestyle and things like that. Otherwise, they may have some kind of sugary related problems and kidney related problems. They have to be very, very cautious. If there is a Shubha Drishti, that means a very good aspect of Jupiter or even Mercury or even Moon, all the Shubha Grahas, they are going to have very good health as well. Okay, and they will be very stubborn people. Taurus ascendant personalities are very stubborn, and they choose their own way in their life. All right, but they will be very diplomatic, unlike the Mars in the Aries. All right, so let's go to the next scenario where Mercury becomes the first lord in Gemini, right? So the Gemini ascendant sign is a very, very activated sign. They are the people who are very informative. They like to communicate a lot. If you see any journalists, for example, people who communicate every day, writers, all these people, TV artists, TV news readers, and all those people have Gemini in the ascendant sign, and even Mercury goes to the first house. So they are entrepreneurs, they are very business minded. Mercury is all about communication, business, and very calculative brain. And they're very professional people, and remember, they have very good memory power. They can remember, they're very good in mathematics as well. Okay, and in other words, since they are very good in communication, they can be very good salesmen. All right, so they like to party around. They are always dynamic. They're jovial. They like to make short trips here and there. Their weekends they enjoy a lot. The Geminians are very, very jovial and active personalities, unless there is another aspect or anything comes into picture, which we will deal later on. But overall, seeing that. The Mercury in the first house is going to be an extremely, extremely beneficial position. All right, so let's go to the Moon in the first house of Cancer. So there is some mix up here. This is the Moon. I'm sorry about it. Okay, Moon in the first house of Cancer or Karkataka Rashi. So Moon becomes extremely emotional planet. The people are calm, they are motherly, they are very nourishing type of people. They are in the food and beverage industry. They like to provide. They are the providers for the people. They like to provide medicine. They like to provide everything to the society, and that is where their happiness. They are like motherly kind of characteristics. They are of very good guidance to people, and they always try to become a little bit fat. They accumulate weight over a period of time, especially after 35 years of age, unless there is a proper diet control. All right, so the Moon in the first house definitely makes people very emotional, and these people are very caring. That's what it is, and it's good that they are ruling by their heart rather than by the brain. So most of the decisions they take by the heart, and then they also get cheated easily because they do not cause any harm to others, but others may take advantage of these people, and they are going to be in trouble at some times. Okay, so they are very, very sensitive to what others says. They don't just mind their own business. They like to be very sensitive to what others are saying, and then they try to fine tune themselves according to the situation, because they are here to please everyone. That's the part of Moon being in the ascendant sign for Cancer ascendant people. All right, let's go to the next one, the dynamic Leo, the Surya, the Sun being the Lord of the Leo. If it is in the first house, what happens? They are very comfortable in their personality. They are very confident. They are the born leaders. They cannot follow others. They do not take commands from others. They like to command others. All right, most of the CEOs and the business people are seen with this Leo ascendant sign. All right, so for any reason, the kings and queens are born with normally the Cancer ascendant or the Leo ascendant. So these are the two royal zodiac signs. The people who have their ascendants in either Cancer zodiac sign or in the Leo zodiac sign, they are born with special characteristics. All right, of a queen or a king, and they want to focus themselves as the center of attention. Wherever they go, they will be in the center of attention. For example, very famous Bollywood or Hollywood actors, they may have this Shah Rukh Khan, for example. He is born in Leo ascendant sign, and he always attracts the center of attraction wherever he goes. Okay, and then it is not their cup of tea to take orders from others. I told you that they are never the followers, they are always the leaders. Extremely important. So whenever this particular Sun Dashas and Antardasha comes, they would assume very high leadership and managerial positions automatically. All right. So let's go to the next part, wherein the Mercury occupies the first house, but this time it is Virgo and not the Gemini. So Virgo is totally a different cup of tea here. The Virgo people, they are very comfortable in their personality. They are very confident again. They love to be in the center of attraction, but they are very, very calculative-minded people. They have a lot of patience. They go to the details of every document that is created, and they make themselves as very good auditors. Accountancy and auditing becomes their main profession. I can say even lawyers, for example, they are born with Mercury in the first house, and they have a lot of knowledge. They have patience to work out with each and every documents in more detail. Okay, here the Mercury is not just jovial; it is a very serious Mercury here. So the nature of Mercury itself changes when it goes to Virgo, because it's the Mula Trikona Rashi, or the exaltation point of Mercury. Okay, so Mercury gives its best results in this, and they're perfectionist, and they're extremely critical and very good in logical type of problem solving methodologies. Okay, so please understand that the first house and 10th house both are ruled here by Mercury, and the people are very much career oriented, karmic. 10th house is the house of karma. The 10th lord comes to the first house, and obviously they become very, very good managers. All right, the next one. Let's take the other part of Venus. Previously, we talked about Venus in Taurus, and now Venus goes to Libra. So Libra is the real artistic sign of the zodiac, of our zodiac. So they are the people who loves luxuries. They are very, very sensual. They are extremely beautiful to look after. Most of the cine actresses and actors are born with Libra ascendant. They will be extremely beautiful. They have the natural talent of dance and arts and singing. They're very much musical oriented people. And also, please understand, Libra is the balance, sign of balance. They can be very good judges. Okay, they respect people's relationships, and they value it actually. So it's extremely important to note that the Venus also, according to classical astrology, rules the eighth house of Taurus. Okay, so first the eighth lord coming to the first house can also bring in certain sudden events in their lives, and also it can transform them whenever the Venus Mahadasha comes. So depending on the degree of Venus that is there, whether it is in Mudita Avastha, Bahalya Avastha, or Yuva Avastha. More so if it is on the Yuva Avastha, between 10 degrees and 20 degrees of Venus, of Libra, Venus is going to give the maximum results for these people. It becomes Digbali, and it is going to make the people very patriotic. They like to settle down in their own hometown and do a lot of good things for their people. All right, so they are the very, very patriotic personalities. The next one is Mars in Scorpio. So it is exactly the same as Mars in Aries, but in a more mental form. They don't express themselves. So Mars in the Aries will express their anger, everything. People can see them getting anger, whereas the Mars in the first house of Scorpio, they are very quiet. They are very yeah, they talk to themselves, and they do not express themselves to others. Nobody knows these are very introvert people, and there will be a smile on their face, but they may be very angry on you. Okay, so you cannot make out their inner mind. And of course, they always like to dominate the show again, and they also are very good sportsmen. They themselves get into act of working very hard in the ground. Okay, so even the surgeons, doctors, all these people are born with Scorpio ascendant, and they have a lot of ups and downs. They see blood every day. The surgeon sees the blood, and operations are done on a daily basis. He is there to mitigate the problems and risks of the patients, right? So very good surgeons are born in this place, in this condition. Even the very patriotic personalities like Narendra Modi is born with Scorpio Lagna, and also the Mars in the first house. All right, so this is going to form a very powerful Pancha Mahapurusha yoga as well, and that's the point. They are the people who transform the lives of millions of people around them. If right combination of other planets are also supporting this Scorpio ascendant. All right, so Scorpio Mars does very well. In the same way, if you go to the Sagittarius and put Jupiter there in the first house, it becomes sorry, a Mula Trikona Rashi, and they become the teachers. They are the gurus, right? So Jupiter does extremely well in Sagittarius. They keep talking. They can talk a lot. They're extremely optimistic people. They are mostly in the teaching professions. They are the gurus. Okay, so sometimes because Jupiter becomes a bigger planet, when it is in ascendant, it's going to make people very obese. You can see one of the best professors in the college, they will be a little bit bulkier in size. All right, this becomes natural to them, and they are very philosophical and have very wise mind. They keep learning. They are surrounded with books most of the times. Okay, unlike Piscean Jupiter, here the Jupiter is very optimistic. Even I can see very good sales personalities are also born with Sagittarius Lagna with Jupiter in the first house. Okay, and they also show gain of wealth through the mother, extremely good. So they make a lot of name and fame in the motherland, and they are going to settle down in the motherland for good, because fourth lord himself also comes as a Sukhadipati, sits in the Lagnam. Right, so they are very respected people in their motherland. All right. The next combination we can see is Saturn in the first house of Capricorn. Okay, if Lagna is Capricorn, the people are very disciplined. The disciplinarian and organized people are all seen through Capricorn ascendant. They are very serious personality. They are never jovial. After they finish their task, then they take rest. Until then, they are very hardworking, and they feel frustrated if people under them do not perform according to the rules and regulations that they have laid down. Okay, so a lot of big leaders are born, CEOs are born with this combination, and Saturn makes the first half of the life a little bit struggling kind of thing, but after 35, 36, Saturn blesses them, and they become, it becomes like a very powerful situation to save wealth, because Lord Saturn also rules, according to the classical astrology, the Aquarius zodiac sign also. So the second half of that portion of life is going to be converted to Aquarius, and being the Lord of Aquarius also in the sitting in the first house, he's going to make you save a lot of money, and you're going to earn a lot of money also with your own effort. So this is a very good combination, but the first half of life will be a lot of struggles with ups and downs and all that. Okay, they work very hard, in fact. Okay, the next one is Sagittarius. The Saturn goes to the first house of Aquarius. So this Aquarius is slightly different. The people here are very innovative. Aquarius is a very innovative sign, and even though the first portion of their life is delayed, they become very research-oriented personalities, bringing in a lot of R&D work into their field. The reason is Saturn's Mula Trikona Sthanam is actually Aquarius. So, as Saturn rules the 12th house of foreign lands, these people may get into isolated places, they may work in research labs, MNCs, and big corporations in foreign lands, and they will be highly respected by foreigners as they contribute and add value to those multinational companies. So, Saturn with the first house in Aquarius is extremely powerful position for R&D, research works in various sciences, all right? So they make a lot of innovations. The last one is Jupiter in the first house of Pisces or Meena Rashi. So this Jupiter becomes a very, very spiritual Jupiter because Pisces is considered as the most spiritual of all zodiac signs. It is the 12th zodiac sign of Kala Purusha Kundali, and it's the Moksha Karaka zodiac sign. All right, so they will be extremely interested in meditation. If you teach meditation to these people, will learn it very fast. They will go to the state of thoughtlessness instantly. Okay, and of course, they are still optimistic and jovial at times, but their main life will be dedicated towards spirituality, developing a lot of gurus who work in the spiritual lines. The real gurus I'm talking about, real sannyasis, they are into this. Okay, these people will be very much like sannyasis. They are contributing to the world. Non-profit. They like to work in non-profit organizations, and they are not money-minded, and they are the real spiritual guides for this world. So we have covered all the 12 zodiac signs for the ascendant lord being placed. And if you have any questions, please type it in the comment section. And very soon we will continue this series: first lord in the second house, first lord in the third house, so on and so forth. And we will begin with the second lord, third lord, fourth lord, etc. And we'll complete the entire series. And please be aware that I'm going to make even nakshatra series also. The planets in various nakshatras, starting from Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, etc., up to Meena Rashi, which has the Revati nakshatra. So this channel is going to give you a lot of knowledge. Please subscribe and stay put. Subscribe and share it to your friends who are really interested in learning this divine science of astrology. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.